reaching back into the vault, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, we tried to upload a bunch of interviews leading up to the 2009 NHL entry draft, and they didn't all make it up in time. Well, here comes another one for you. He comes to us formerly from the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles of the QMJHL, but now he signed his first pro contract, 3-year entry level, as a matter of fact, with the Toronto Maple Leafs. We have Robert Slaney. Here he is. You know, we've had a bunch of guests on. We just had Taylor Hall on. He's probably going to go first overall next year.
He is.
Kind of a big deal. We've had a bunch of other high-profile draft prospects on, also Memorial Cup champion. And right now
we have Robert Slaney on the phone.
Now, for those of you who don't know who Robert Slaney is, played for the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles this past season in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League.
Good.
And Leafs fans might know him from a couple months back when he signed a 3-year deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So right now, let's introduce him, Rob Slaney. Rob, how you doing?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay. We're having a great show so far. We're happy to have you on. And I got a question for you though. I wonder, with the NHL entry draft, just you could say hours away at this point. I wonder how somebody like you watches the entry draft, because you missed out on getting drafted, yet you've earned a 3-year deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs. How will you be watching the draft, if at all, this year?
I'm going to be watching for sure. I guess my goalie back in Cape Breton is fairly high ranked. I mean, he's not going to go too high, but I'm going to be interested to see where he goes, and the whole Tavares battle. That's going to be fun to watch, and I'll be just watching TSN, little updates here and there, and that's about it.
I'm glad you mentioned, for those of you who don't know who Rob is talking about, Olivier Roy for the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles, maybe the most highly touted goalie in this draft, certainly one of the top 3. Rob, I was wondering, you've played with him for quite a while now. Could you maybe give fans of the team he is drafted to a little scoop of what he is as a goalie?
Yeah, for sure. He's a goalie. He's not too big. He's maybe 6 foot, 170 pounds. He's lightning fast. His reflexes are so good, and his main advantage is he's so competitive. Whether it's practice, warm up, a game, he doesn't want to be scored on, and he never gives up on any battles. And that's his main point.
No, I'm glad you talked about your teammate a little there, but getting back to you, and certainly Leafs fans will want to know this, you battled pretty bad injury there at the end of the season in the QMJHL playoffs this year. Are you feeling okay now? Are you back to 100% for next year?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was a 3 to 6 week thing. It just happened at a terrible time. It's all healed up now, and all bones are good and sturdy. So I'm ready to go.
Well, that's certainly good to hear. And you're a good player on the ice, but you're also a smart person off the ice. Last year, you were named the CHL's top academic player of the year. How does a player achieve an honor like that, yet still finish among the elite in Quebec League scoring?
Well, I think it was just all about time management and my upbringing. I mean, as I grew up, my parents always made sure that school was just as much as a priority to me as hockey was. And when I moved to Cape Breton, that was the same way. Some guys would be doing other things, and I'd just stick at home and do a project or something like that. And so I just managed my time well, and like I said, my roots really helped me in that aspect, and that's how I did it.
Well, and an interesting side note to you signing with the Toronto Maple Leafs just a couple months ago is you actually have already attended an NHL training camp. That was with the Carolina Hurricanes. Should you crack the Leafs roster this year, will you have the first date the Leafs play the Hurricanes circled on your map?
No, I don't think I hold any grudges against them. It was, they invited me down to their camp. I went down. I performed pretty well, but there was no doubt that I needed another year in junior just to help my development. When it came down to get the contract done this year, they were still right there as a front runner, and it just happened that the Toronto situation was better, and that's where I went.
Well, certainly none of the guys that are in the radio booth with me right now, myself included, have ever been to an NHL training camp. Can you maybe walk us through a bit of your experience?
Yeah, for sure. I got there, and me and another couple guys got off the plane together. We talked it up a little bit, and we stayed in a hotel, which was pretty well set up. They give you everything. I mean, your meals, your transportation back and forth, it's all set up. It's all pretty prearranged. And you get to the camp. My first day was fitness tests, and that Carolina apparently are pretty big on fitness. So that was, I'm going to say, the hardest day of my life fitness-wise. And I got that done pretty well. And the next couple of days, it was just one ice time session a day for 2 hours, different defensive zone plays, offensive zone plays. And it was mainly not so much as a fitness thing as just to see where your head was at and whether it was able to play the professional game. And I was there for about a week. I played some red and white games, and I gained a lot of experience down there. And I went back, like I said, I definitely needed a year of junior, and I went back, and everything turned out great.
Well, and I wonder, getting back to the Carolina Hurricanes fitness testing, were you working out in the same facility as Rod Brind'Amour? Because once upon a time, in his younger days, this guy actually got locked out of a gym for working out too much.
Well, when we did the fitness test, he was there, and I'm going to say that that might still happen to him. He was he was by far the most defined man there. You could tell he really cared about his body and everything about it, and he had a lower body injury at the time, so I didn't get to watch him play or skate, but I could tell his work ethic in the gym that for sure he was a warrior on the ice.
Well, and you were named the fan favorite, the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles roster this year, and I wish you the best of luck cracking the Leafs to prove to Leaf fans why you got that honor. Rob, thanks for coming on, and enjoy your summer.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.